Good evening. Hello? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good evening and welcome to Triway High School and the commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. On behalf of the Board of Education, Superintendent Mr. Nathan Schindewolf, and the staff of Triway High School, I want to thank you for joining us in this great class as we honor the class of 2026. My name is Chris Sieber and it has been my privilege to be their principal. As we begin this evening, I'd like to thank the following people who've helped to make this possible. Yael Snyder, Renee Conley, Justin McDowell, Jenny Bishko, Tracy Piper, Jason Reith, Jamie Bickle, the Triway High School teaching staff and the tremendous job they do each and every day. And finally, our two senior advisors, Zach McCune and Chad Oneacre, who have been working very, very tirelessly this last week and throughout the year. So a special round of applause for them. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Nathan Schindewolf.
At this time, I would like to recognize our Titan retirees. Thank you for dedicating years of passion and knowledge, shaping countless minds and inspiring today's graduates. As I call your name, please stand. Mike McLean, Jim Plaucha, Cindy Staley, Mark Martin, and Stacy Geog. These dedicated educators have given decades of service to our school community. They have impacted the lives of countless Triway students. Please join me in a round of applause as we celebrate these outstanding Titans. Good evening. My name is Nate Schindewolf, Superintendent of Triway Schools. This year's seniors are Triway's 64th graduating class, joining the preceding 63 classes as celebrated alumni. It is with great pride that I address Triway's graduating class of 2026. Standing here tonight, looking out at this sea of caps and gowns, I am overwhelmed by a sense of pride. We are here to celebrate your achievements, your resilience, and the milestone that is high school graduation. But more than that, we are here to witness the moment you step out of the chapters written for you and begin writing the chapters you will author yourselves. As you stand on the edge of this great chapter, I want to challenge you with a simple question. It is a question that has echoed through history during times of great change. It's a question that belongs entirely to you tonight. If not you, then who? We live in a world that is moving faster than ever before. It is a world full of complex challenges, unfinished stories, and deep needs for leadership, empathy, and innovation. It is incredibly easy to look at the world's problems or even the challenges in your local community and think someone should really fix that, or someone should step up and lead. But as of tonight, you are no longer just the future. You are the present. The someone the world is waiting for is sitting in your chair. If not you to bring kindness to a culture that can sometimes feel cynical, then who? If not you to display your talents to innovate, create, and build a better tomorrow, then who? If not you to stand up for what is right, even when standing alone, then who? Asking if not you, then who is not about demanding perfection. It doesn't mean you need to have your entire life figured out by tomorrow morning. It means recognizing that you possess a unique combination of passion, intellect, and perspective that this world desperately needs. Over the last 4 years, you haven't just memorized facts or passed tests. You have learned how to collaborate, how to overcome setbacks, and how to support one another. You have built a foundation right here that will help you answer this call. When you leave here, you will face moments when it feels easier to blend into the background, to let someone else take a risk, or to let someone else speak up. In those moments, I want you to remember this night. I want you to look in the mirror and realize that you are fully capable, fully equipped, and entirely responsible for the impact you make on the world around you. Class of 2026, the world is waiting for your energy, your ideas, and your leadership. Do not wait for a formal invitation to make a difference. Do not wait for someone else to pave the way. Step forward with confidence, own your story, be the leader, the healer, the innovator, the friend. When the opportunity arises to make a difference, remember this simple truth: if not you, then who? Congratulations to the class of 2026. We, the entire Triway community, are incredibly proud of you. Thank you.
The only constant in life is change. Many of us have heard this saying before, and I believe that it rings true for all ages. 3 of the biggest changes that our class has gone through are the pandemic in 6th grade, moving to the new high school in 2025, and, of course, what we are all here for tonight, graduation. I remember sitting in class on March 13th, 2020, when my teacher made a comment about people overreacting about COVID. However, that afternoon, we got the news that we would be out of school for 2 weeks. At the time, it was exciting. After all, who doesn't want an extended spring break? However, when those 2 weeks turned into the rest of the school year, the excitement faded to disappointment. We are missing outdoor ed and the end of elementary school. The loss of outdoor ed left most of us worried about the transition to junior high. We were going to go from knowing everyone to knowing just a fraction of our classmates. Looking back on it, we had nothing to worry about. Although we missed out on outdoor ed, the 2 schools merged together without many issues. And while we all still have memories and ties to our elementary schools, we also have so many memories together as one class. Not only did we go to Washington, D.C. together, but we have gone to countless dances, games, and even just classes together. Even through a global pandemic, Shreve, Franklin, and Worcester Township combined into a class full of friendships. The second major change that the class of 2026 has dealt with is the move to the new high school. While the old school definitely had its downsides, such as no air conditioning and bathroom stalls that didn't lock, it also held a lot of memories. The new hallways were unfamiliar, unlike the previous locker lines ones. Every classroom was clean and new, but there was a lack of familiarity. There were no more quotes written on the walls of Mrs. Varner's classroom or decorations covering the rooms. But through the change, we still had the opportunity to make plenty of memories. We got to watch plays in the new auditorium, go to basketball games in the new gym, and sit in the hallways to do our work. I'm so thankful that we got to make so many memories in both the old and new school. It's hard to believe that we are finally the ones graduating. I'm sure that many of us remember sitting in this room watching siblings, friends, or teammates that were sitting in the same seats over the years, and now it's our turn. We are all getting ready to move on to the next stage of life, and I believe this is the biggest change that we've faced so far. I know that myself and many others have put so much work into being prepared for the next step, and I have faith that we will all succeed in the future. Don't forget to look back on the memories of standing in the student section at football games, or performing on the stage in the auditorium, or walking the halls with friends. Change is constantly happening around us, but memories stay with us forever. Thank you.
Good evening, families, faculty, and the class of 2026. My name is Olivia Carnes, and I am incredibly honored to be speaking at our graduation tonight. As a whole, we have been through so many emotions together, whether that's good or bad, but we've also been through so many important events together. And I wanted us to take a trip down memory lane so we can experience everything one last time. First, we started off as this scared little kindergartner entering a big, scary building. We were all just hoping that we ended up in the right classroom at the right time. Once we passed that hurdle, we quickly had another. Who was going to be our friend? Now, no one had a problem with making new friends because we were all 5 or 6 years old, and kids talk to anyone. After that day, we were so excited to tell our parents everything about our day and tell them about all the new friends we made. But like all things, everything came to an end, and we had to move on to the next few grades. Now let's skip a few years and let us talk about our 6th grade experience. It was our last year in elementary school, and everyone was feeling all sorts of different emotions: happiness, anger, sadness, and a lot of anxiety about middle school. We were soaking in everything about elementary school when we were told that we were going to be out for 2 weeks due to COVID-19. We didn't think anything of it, and we were so excited that we just had an extra week of spring break, and that when we came back, we would go to outdoor ed. Well, the 2 weeks turned into the rest of the school year, and we had to do tree houses as our lesson plans. We did our graduation over Zoom, and we didn't get to say goodbye to our teachers and friends. We missed out on some really good memories, but we could only hope that middle school was going to make everything better. So we entered middle school like how we entered kindergarten, scared and hoping we made it to the next class. We were introduced to the other kids from the other elementary school, and we had no idea what they exactly looked like because we had to wear a mask all year. For those first couple of weeks, we had to remain 6 feet apart and couldn't make a lot of new friends. But we were getting sick of all the rules, so we started to take some of our freedom back. We started to take down the white dividers from our desks just so we could talk to each other, and we started to wear our masks improperly just so we could breathe. I know to most people this sounds dumb, but to us it felt like we could make a difference in little ways. Once we finally got past middle school, we started high school. We had to deal with the frustration of our freshman year lockers and the smell of the freshman hallway. We just had to hope and pray that we didn't die on the stairs or that we didn't walk into the wrong class. But we figured out high school pretty well until we got told that we were moving schools halfway through our junior year. So we had to pack up everything we had from the old school and take it over to the new school. We had to figure out a new layout again, but that was nothing we haven't done before. Then came senior year, the year we experienced all of our laughs. The excitement that came with our last first day of school, the sadness of the last football game, the anger of graduation not coming fast enough because from November to March it felt like time wouldn't move, the stress of our finals, and then the bittersweet emotions that came with our last week. But I now know none of us would trade this past year for anything because we went through all of this together. This is the last time all of us will be in the same place at the same time. This is the last time we will see each other for months or even years. We have met our best friends, enemies, and acquaintances, and possibly found a relationship with someone. We have shared so many memories that we might forget them later down the road, but until we run into each other years from now at the grocery store, all the memories will come flooding back. Maybe your kid will ask you, "Who was that?" And you get to explain that you went to high school with them, and you get to share all the memories with them. No one wants to associate bad memories with someone, so make your amends and apologize to those whom you may have hurt, because at the end of the day, we all just want to have a great time together at our graduation. The class of 2026 has been through many emotions: happiness, anger, sadness, fear, anxiety, stress, and so much more. Over the past 13 years, we have built bonds that will last a lifetime, and I know we will accomplish so much in the real world. Now I will end this speech with a quote by SpongeBob. You never really know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So let's make the best of this last night together and make a lifetime of memories.
Congratulations, class of 2026. We've officially ended this chapter of our lives, and we're off to start the next one. The next chapter, which I pray will be full of happiness and growth. I hope that when you take your next steps in life, you always continue to push yourself out of your comfort zone, for that is where the most growth happens. Growth is a beautiful thing that can happen throughout our whole lives, no matter what age you are. Growth is important to keep moving forward. Yet it can only happen when you go out of your comfort zone to try something that is new to you. As we go through life, there are going to be so many opportunities that will come your way. Some might seem scary and unaccomplishable, but I want to encourage you to dream big and try new things. Reach for the stars, and even if you fail, you will learn things along the way because you tried. If you don't try, you will never know what would have happened. You won't gain anything. But by trying, you will gain so much. Life is all about growing into a better person than the day before. So I encourage you to try something new. Push yourself to be the best you can be. Life is what you make it. So do things you love. Do them tired, scared, unmotivated, sad, mad, no matter how you feel. Continue to work hard and push yourself forward. The only thing stopping you from your dreams is yourself. You are the only obstacle in the way, so push forward and focus on the things that matter. When you keep yourself rooted in the things that matter and continue to push yourself forward, there is nothing that you can't accomplish. So try new things, activities, hobbies that you've always wanted to try or are curious about. Give them a go. Open your horizons to new things. That is when you start to see life more beautifully. Life is what you make it, and it's up to you what you do with it. But if I can encourage you to do anything, I would encourage you to try new things and be your authentic self in all you do. You were created by a loving creator to be the way you are, so don't hide your light. Don't be someone else, be yourself. Through the journey of life, I wish you blessings and happiness. Also for you to know just how loved you are, no matter what happens or where you go. I hope you take this next chapter to the heights and dream big and push forward no matter what life throws at you. Go become doctors, lawyers, vets, teachers, firemen, chefs, farmers, tradespeople, soldiers, pilots, wives, mothers, fathers, or whatever you feel called to be. No matter what your passion is, give it 100% all the days of your life. Push yourself forward to your dreams, work hard, have faith, and dream big. I cannot stress enough the importance of dreaming big, for dreams are so special to ourselves. Without dreams, life can be very boring, but with them, life can seem so vibrant and lovely. Dreams can happen, so don't give up on them. All it takes is dedication, discipline, hope, and hard work. So dream big, class of 2026, and grow to reach those dreams. Don't be afraid of failing, for you can always try again. For tomorrow is a new day. So walk in life with courage, truth, kindness, and you can never go wrong. Good luck, class of 2026. I know you can do it. God bless.
Triway class of 2026, we did it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Loretta Johnson, and it is an honor to be a valedictorian of this class. Through the highs and lows, we have finally accomplished something we've been working towards for the last 13 years. We are about to receive our diplomas, prepared to go out into the world and pursue our own amazing paths. To get to where we are today, we couldn't have done it without a little help from our amazing community. So to the many administrators, teachers, family members, and friends here today, I want to express a heartfelt thank you for everything you've done to help us get to this point. And while I've only been a part of this community for a few years, that makes it even sweeter how incredible and supportive it is. I couldn't be happier to be a Titan. Thank you for helping us through rough times, for teaching us how to truly be ourselves, and for giving us so many opportunities to grow. Thank you for everything you've done to positively impact our lives. Without each of you, our lives would look a lot different. As we wrap up this chapter of our lives, many things come to mind. When I was little, I used to excitedly imagine graduating high school as I watched those older than me do so. It was a time I looked forward to. But as I stand here today, I feel a little emotional. What do you mean I won't walk back through those doors in September with a new schedule, excited to see my friends and ready for a new school year? No, next September we will all be in different places, pursuing different things. So whether you're going to school to major in early childhood education, enlisting in the military, or entering the workforce, know that hard times won't stop just because you have graduated high school. I encourage you to remember this verse that has gotten me through my toughest times. In John chapter 14, verse 18, Jesus says, "I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you." Remember that God has a plan for you in your life. You are known and loved by the people around you and by the Savior of the world who wants the best for you. So, wherever you go, whatever you do, never forget who you are, a Titan. Being a Titan means choosing resilience when life gets difficult, leading with kindness, and standing beside others when they need support. As we take this next step together, let us remember that being a Titan isn't just about where we went to school. It is about our character. No matter how far we go or how much our lives change, we will always be Titans, resilient, supportive, and strong. And as we face the challenges of our new adventures, let us trust that we are not alone. God promises to be with us, guiding and comforting us through every season. So, class of 2026, move forward with confidence, knowing that you are loved, that you are more than enough, and that both your Titan family and Father in heaven are cheering you on.
Good evening, families, parents, staff, and the class of 2026. My name is Matthew Kennedy, and if you know me, you should know that I am one of the biggest fans of Disney. Therefore, I find it fitting to open up my speech tonight with a quote from the fireworks show Happily Ever After that plays in Magic Kingdom nightly. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us, and when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover who we're meant to be. That idea, the courage to listen and the boldness to pursue, is really what today is all about. Because standing right here, we're all ready to begin. Whether we feel prepared or not, this moment is pulling us forward, and the future has a way of doing that. It draws us in, even when we fully don't understand what's ahead. And that can be intimidating. But it can also be very exciting, because this moment, right now, is where everything starts to unfold. Each of us is stepping into something new. A new chapter, a new path, a new tomorrow. And while those paths may look different, they all start the same way, with a choice. Every step we take from here on out matters. Every decision, big or small, shapes the direction of our lives. Not all at once, not perfectly, but little by little. And that is how the future is built. Not in one defining moment, but in a series of choices that lead us toward who we're meant to become. And not every choice will be easy. There will be times when you don't know what to do, times when things don't go the way you planned, times when the path ahead feels unclear. But those moments do not mean that you're lost. It means that you are growing. Because finding your way isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to move forward even when you don't. It's about stepping into the unknown with your heart wide open. Think about everything we've already overcome to get to this moment. The challenges, the pressure, the moments we doubted ourselves, but we kept going anyway. And we didn't get here because the path was easy. We got here by taking steps. And that is exactly what the future will ask of us. To keep going, to keep choosing, and to keep believing that each step forward brings a new hope, a new opportunity, a new day. And as we take those steps, something incredible starts to happen. Our stories come alive. Not because everything is perfect, but because we're living them. Because we're trying, failing, learning, and growing. Because we're discovering who we are, not all at once, but over time. And if there's one thing to remember as we move forward, it's this. Your future is not already written. It is something that you create through your choices, through your actions, and through your courage to keep going, even when things feel uncertain. So don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. And don't be afraid to chase something that matters to you, even if it scares you a little. Because the best stories, the ones that we remember, and the ones that mean the most, begin with that first step into something unknown. And standing here today, that is exactly where we are. At the beginning. And it's only just beginning. And because I'm that Disney fan, I think we should end with another quote from Happily Ever After. And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab a hold of your dreams and make them come true, for you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go. Let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after. Congratulations, class of 26. We made it.
In the state of our world, it doesn't take a genius to tell you that there's a lot of noise. I'm no genius, but those 15 seconds probably sounded pretty loud. Whether the person beside you had to break the silence with a comment because they were uncomfortable, or if no one around you said a thing, the noise of your brain was on full blast. We've been conditioned to expect results and know exactly what is going on in a second's notice. Why isn't the speaker saying anything? If I don't know my family's plans for this weekend in the next 15 seconds, am I going to survive? Kylee hasn't answered my text in 5 minutes. Am I driving her crazy? If I'm expecting everything around me to be moving at light speed and others are expecting the same of me, how in the world can I begin to comprehend the algorithms and input entering my mind? Mindlessness kills intentionality, and without intentionality, we're living without purpose. A purposeless life gives us no identity with nothing to live for. We have nobody to be and no thing to do. A corpse walking around aimlessly. Now imagine someone breathed life into this corpse. They gave them a reason to live, a place to go, a definition of love, an example to follow, and the ability to introduce this life to other corpses. Do you think that first corpse will want to go back to the same lifestyle? Or would he instead choose the noises around him wisely, carefully plan out the noises he makes with intention, and use discernment when he hears a foreign noise? Would he construct strategically placed walls to defend against calamitous noise, and build gates and bridges to share this life that he has found? If he surrendered to a purpose great enough, he would. This is an intentional life, a life that all of us here can live, a life that can manage the noise and act out of purpose amidst it all. This type of life poses a threat to the noise. The noise wants to suppress our teenage minds through our devices, thoughts, and what we hear from others to drag you away from a life of true meaning. The noise will criticize you for speaking out for what you are passionate about and mock you to your face and behind your back. If this deters you, you aren't passionate enough about your purpose. You don't have to be loud to be passionate. Actions are pretty loud. Consistent ones are deafening. When I was 9 years old, I went to Tigner's hardware store, and the man behind the counter told me that no matter what, you can always do 3 things. Over the last 10 years, I forgot 2 of them, but the third was to smile. A smile alone is a simple, consistent action that reflects passion. If you walked by me today and smiled at me, I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me feel pretty happy. Something so small, yet so intentional and passionate. If that's the baseline, then imagine how impactful intentionality and passion can be. An undying, indomitable will to live a life on purpose won't remove the destructive noise, but it will combat it, and it will win time and time again. This war against the noise does not call for precise, ordered action and burning desire. It does call for that. Typo. Thankfully, me and you can start small, because it doesn't take a genius to smile.
Hello everyone, my name is Kylee Strong. As I stand here today, all that comes to mind is how grateful I am for the people who have poured into my life, the accomplishments I've been blessed with, and a God who has guided me every step of the way. I'm happy to say that as I look back on previous years, I can proudly share that I am living in prayers I once prayed would come to life. I'm certainly in awe of what God has done in my life and what He's still going to do. Thank you to each person who has supported me the past 4 years, and for those who have shaped me into the person I am today. Throughout the past 18 years, one of the most important things I've learned is that the way you live your life matters. No matter who you are, there's always going to be someone learning from you or looking up to you. I once heard a quote that states, "Share the gospel at all times. When necessary, use words." While this quote is based on spreading the Christian faith, it can also be looked at from any perspective you choose. For me personally, this quote changed the way I looked at life and how I lived. For instance, I'm a Christian, and my priority is to make Jesus known. I used to always think that sharing Jesus to others had to be a carefully planned out conversation that I needed to plan ahead of time. But in reality, it's how you live your life that has the greatest impact. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." This is a verse I strive to live by daily. In everything I do, I want to do it all for the Lord and to make Him known. Additionally, it is important to do everything with full intentions and with a specific purpose in mind, or else it's all meaningless. The truth is, our lives serve as our greatest witness, and our daily choices will leave a lasting impact on those who watch us, whether we realize it or not. The last thing anyone wants to do is to leave a bad reputation or a false identity. As humans, I think we tend to be influenced the most by what we see rather than what we hear, because when we see it, it is physical evidence that cannot be denied. Similarly, when living life, my goal is to always be the most authentic person I can be, glorify God in all that I do, and to live a quiet life. The past 4 years of high school have really put this into perspective for me. I've witnessed that by putting the most important things first, in my case, the Lord, and by being my truest self, that everything else falls into place, and I've received blessings upon blessings. I say all this to say that depending on how you decide to live your life is up to you. You may not think your life has an impact, but it does. People generally never remember what you said to them in a certain situation, but they will always remember how you made them feel and how you acted in response. The person you are is not just who you say you are, but is who you prove yourself to be. Not everyone is going to agree with you, and not everyone is always going to like you. However, even when the world seems to be against who you are or what you believe in, there is always someone witnessing your story, and they are inspired, whether you realize it or not. In the end, your actions and how you live your life are greater than words ever will be. People will always be watching and following what you do. There's always a purpose for why you are set apart from the rest, so strive to become the very person you would choose to follow. Thank you.
Let's give them a round of applause for outstanding speeches. So before we can present the class of 2026, I wanted to take a moment here. I was reminded that today was a special day, and it's not just because it's graduation. Somebody's having a birthday today. So Cadence Horsky, where are you? If we could take a moment, please, and wish Cadence a happy birthday. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Cadence shared last week, it's going to be my birthday at graduation. That's why it's going to be a special day. And then at practice this week, remember, it's my birthday. So I also want to take a moment to recognize a special group, and you've kind of probably have seen a couple kids trickle in here, and there might be a few others. We have students that are running in the Ohio High School Athletic Association's district track meet over in Norway this evening. Zoe Baker, Parker Clippinger, who is here, Brody Flinter, Loretta Johnson, who you've heard speak, she is here now, Ollie Krupp, Seth McTheney is here, and Gavin Rowe are here. Is running. So each qualified in various events and have been competing for Triway as they look to advance to next week's regional meet in Austintown Fitch, with the goal of reaching the state championships in Columbus later on. Earlier this evening, Mr. Schindewolf, Mr. McDowell, and myself presented these young men and women with their diplomas in a special ceremony at that meet. We're very thankful for Norway to allowing us to do that. But we wanted to take a moment to recognize those who could not be with us, and please, let's give them a special round of applause. I am 55 years old, and I've been in education for 30 years. And each year I've had a chance to look back and reflect on a group of students with whom I've had a chance to work. And I do that at the end of every year, and I think back and I look at every class. And I always kind of have a yardstick and think, oh, how's this class been? How's that class been? And over the course of my career, most of which has been an administrator, each class has given a lasting impression. And I've got to tell you, this has been a pretty special group. They really, really have. You've done a great job, Mom and Dad, you really have. This class is truly a special group of students for a lot of different reasons, from the classroom to the playing field to the stage and finally to the caring that they show one another each and every time. The class of 2026 has excelled in what I call the 4 A's, so bear with me as I tell you what those are. Academics, arts, athletics, and the last A, you have to go with me on this one, is in the word heart, the A in the word of heart, which this class demonstrates time and time again. They really do. For academics, they've excelled in the classroom, both at Triway High School and the Wayne County Career Center. This class alone boasts of 10 students who are in the top 10 with a 4.0 grade point average over the course of their entire time at high school. 73% of the students in this class have a GPA of 3.0 or higher. 47% of the students have a GPA of 3.5 or higher. The other evening during the senior awards night, the amount of scholarship money that was presented was astounding, and it speaks volumes to the support that this community gives to its students and to its school. I challenge anybody to tell me a better school district that supports its kids. It's also a testament to your hard work, kids. You do a great job. Yesterday evening, the Wayne County Schools Career Center held its senior recognition ceremony, and our students stood out in a number of programs. One senior in particular was recognized as the top senior for the entire Career Center. And this year, it was our own Brooklyn Tarleton, daughter of Jeff and Loretta Tarleton. So Brooklyn, would you do me a favor? Could you please stand so we can recognize you? Just as in the classroom, the seniors from 2026 have performed on the playing field, and this class has left a mark that's going to be hard to match. They won championship in football and volleyball in the league. They've succeeded in the state playoffs in football and volleyball, girls basketball, boys basketball. The girls basketball team were district champions, and the boys team finished as district runner-ups. As mentioned previously, our track athletes are competing at this time, trying to advance to regionals on the road to Columbus. And our baseball team right now is in the midst of their own playoff run. Sure to be exciting. And on the stage, the Titans have shown brightly in two productions of You Can't Take It With You in the fall, and if you had the opportunity, you got to see something special this spring with Annie Jr. when the high school and the middle school combined to put on one heck of a performance, as well as numerous concerts with both instrumental and vocal music, doing a great job. It is so fun to come see our kids, and if you haven't done it yet, please come out and see what they do. And another area we excel is in the world of art. I can't tell you, the other week in Worcester, we went and saw the art exhibit. You get to see some amazing things. I myself was a graduate of the stick figure art. That's as far as I ever got. So getting to see our kids, Charlotte Seymour, Loretta Johnson, Sophia James, Zane Cowart, Jackson Zemrock, Gavin Rowe, and Ollie Krupp having amazing pieces of art in this exhibit in the Wayne County Art Show, it just blows you away. I can imagine someday going to a museum, whether it be in Washington, D.C., New York City, maybe even the Louvre, seeing some of the work, because they are just unbelievable and spectacular. And let's never forget Ms. Stadler and Mr. Pooster and the shows they put on with their instrumental program and vocal program. And while I've mentioned that the 3 A's of academics, athletic, and arts, let's not forget this fourth one, which is heart. And that for me is symbolized in this class. Excuse me. Told you guys, I'm not going to choke up and cry. They have a caring heart that exhibits a passion for living life, having a strong commitment and being who they are. A good example of this is Avril Newman, as she has joined the United States Air Force, and soon after graduation, and a commitment to our country. So Avril, I applaud you. Thank you very much for what you are going to do. This class has been a role model for so many others. They have the heart to be a role model for younger Titans. Coach Kelly takes his players over to the elementary school where they read to the younger kids. It is something special to see how kids light up when they see the older kids. You see Luke Starr with the younger students, they just look at him in awe. They want to be like him someday. We have kids who demonstrate the huge hearts by working at school all day, and then they go to an evening job and work countless hours. Why? Because they demonstrate an immense amount of responsibility to themselves and to their families. Those who have shown the courage to come back from an injury after 1 year, to come back their senior years and demonstrate their abilities on the court and on the field, such as Peyton Snyder and Brody Flinter, both having tremendous sports seasons this year. Just a miraculous recovery and just miraculous season, great to watch. Seeing this class, how they interact with each other every day at lunch, in the ELA, at games, and their genuine care for each other, except when they play Mr. Sieber in Uno, Maya and Addie Vizo. Somehow, some way, I still think you guys cheated and beat me every day when we would play. Somehow, we'll come figure that out. Finally, the support they have shown this school district, along with their parents, leaving a lasting mark with our baseball and softball stadium renovations and the seniors this year as they surprised Mr. Pooster with a renovated band trailer that looks incredible. And that was spearheaded by the seniors coming up with that idea all on their own. This group, they just do amazing things. They're an incredible class. So class of 2026, I want you to ponder this last thought, or as Richard Spiegelmeier would say, El Presidente himself, let this marinate. You have a wonderful heart, class of 2026. Take what you have learned at Triway High School, what you've learned from your parents, what you've learned from your families, and what you have learned from this great community. Fill it into your heart. Make the rest of your years that you have, which I hope are long, and live spectacular lives, because you deserve it. God bless you. Love you. Now, it gives me great pleasure to share with the Triway Board of Education Superintendent, Mr. Nathan Schindewolf, that the class of 2026 has met the requirements set forth by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce and the Triway Board of Education, that the members of 2026 will be awarded their diplomas from Triway High School. Joining me in the presentation of diplomas will be Superintendent Nathan Schindewolf, members of our Board of Education, Mr. Travis Snyder, Board President, Mrs. Angie Giltner, Vice President, Mr. Aaron Boothby, Mr. Ryan Gilbert, Mrs. Anjanette James. Also assisting this evening, Mr. Nate Gobatz from the Wayne County Schools Career Center.
Jack Morrison Rohr. McKaylee Renee Tipton. Adam John Schumacher. Jaden Lynn Urick. Carter Joseph Cicconetti. Maya Leanne Lester. Richard Lee Spiegelmeier. Brooklyn Marie Tarleton. Wayne Allen Hitchcock. Ellie Jean Shellen. Jaden Michael Mincy. Cadence Olivia Horsky. Anthony Blaine Haberbush Seidel. Nevaeh Lee McMath. Quentin Malone Bennett. Sophia Elizabeth James. Kendall Alexis Michelle Johnson. Brian James Lewis. Jesselyn Renee Starr. Caleb Daniel McCain. Julia Michelle Root. Grayson Charles Smith. Avril Corianne Newman. Jackson Todd Zemrock. Haley Elizabeth Browning. Tristan Xavier Weaver. Kylee Faith Strong. Harley Lloyd Gosser. Tatum Renee Harold. Seth Alexander McTheney. Elise Aaron Romaine Sabrin. Matthew Richard Kennedy. Jaden Lee Ackerman. Eve Anne-Marie Musiska. Brock Joshua Wakosh. Charlotte K. Seymour. Caden Richard Combs. Olivia Ann Larson. Joshua Alexander King. Joy Lynn Acker. Zane Christopher Cowart. Peyton Snyder. Jonathan Curtis Eichelberry. Elena Faith Perman. Aiden Larry Beckler. Jillian Louise Harbert. Maverick Ace Wells. Tori Nicole Manley. Addison Grace Vizo. Kellen Allen Haynes. Ariel May Severs. Samuel Wallace. Jaslyn Renee Page Doyle. Jason Ronald Shutt. Alyssa Christine Miller. Xavier Daniel Thompson. Audrey Ray Walton. Kobe Allen Capadoni. Brianna Marie Gentry. Gavin Thomas Hill. Sabrina Nicole Clark. Elliot Joseph Daly. Kayla Lynn Swain. Roman Philip Gilbert. Caden Mitchell Pritchard. Ivy Lachey Thacker. Ashton Jarrell Quinteros. Miley-Ann Angel Jarvis. Monsef Ahmed Damey. Mackenzie Sienna Cardis. Andrew Patrick Lilly. Sydney Christine Frank. Joshua Leonard Stoner. Taylor Darlene Peoples. Clayton Logan Slaughter. Paige Marie Davis. Milo Cook. Grace Joy Williamson. Brady Allen McElroy. Reagan Avery Underwood. Kimberly Jane Smith. Trevor Grant Winkleman. Alexandria Lynn Wallace. Elijah Dean Davis. Isabella Mariah Ball. Andrew Michael Wood. Addison May Lake. Joseph Mark Yacaprero. Adeline Catherine Walton. Gavin Parker Rowe. Lauren Ann Fishburne. Dakota Coy Elliott. Angel Marie Rose Dix Shako. Ollie Alexander Krupp. Kennedy Annette Drown. Broderick Joseph Flinner. Mackenzie Kathleen Fleck. Kristen Dawn Shafrath. Olivia Ray Carnes. Evelyn Catherine Linden. Luke Joseph Starr. Hannah Jean Costa. Loretta Isabella Johnson. Zoe Faye Baker. And Parker Elizabeth Clippinger.